live exclusive coverage of high school activities in the Kern High School District. Caught on Kern High Network tonight. It's athletics, it's high school football. The Stockdale Mustangs welcoming in the Highland Scots. I'm Vance Palm. I've got Rich Cornford with me. More on Rich in a little while. Rich, here we go. Packed parking lot. A beautiful night. A hurricane south of us. A silver moon up there. This looks like a pretty nice night for football, my man.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, Vance.
Short kick taken about the 16-yard line. Might be a reverse. It's a fake, and it is a speedy Jackson out on the far side. That's Jeremy Jackson. The senior gets to about the 30-yard line. Rich, we'll talk about last night's game. Frontier at North. A lot happened there. Rick Van Horn and I called that one. But tonight we have the silver and black welcoming in Highland High School, the far east of the city, way out to the far west. I know you have your notes. I know you got a lot of stuff with you. Highland in the green bottoms, white tops. Stockdale all black in their home unis. First play from the line of scrimmage. The quarterback for the Highland Scots. We've got helmets popping off and a sack by the Mustangs. So Isaiah Ott goes down. Your first brushstroke thoughts about this game?
Well, you know, Mike Gutierrez, the Highland head coach, is a heck of an offensive play caller. He's got a sophomore quarterback making his first snap right there and getting sacked in Isaiah Ott. Isaiah can really spin the football, Mike said, and really picked up the offense fast. Looked like more of a coverage sack than everything there. Good job by the young quarterback to not just throw that one up for grabs.
We have a uniform adjustment. The white hat referee said, hey, got to have something fixed over there on Joaquin Witten. He ran off very quickly. Something about his knee pad maybe. Caught it.
Oh, boy, that drives you crazy as a coach when a kid goes out there without knee pads. And they got another one here maybe?
Looks like a couple of them. Well, there's announcements all around the community about the shortage of referees. I've been talking about it in some of my speaking engagements. We talked about it last night. The public address announcer tonight made a comment about it. And I can tell you this, the white hat here is already on top of stuff.
Well, we got a good veteran crew here for tonight's game.
Strong, hard run right up the middle. The ball was handed off to Ernesto Romero.
You know, Stockdale, we'll just start off. They are without Bradley Taylor, who was their team leader. He broke his fibula a week and a half ago. And they might be missing him up front there because he was a heck of a defensive lineman for them. Ooh, there we see the first kind of early season mistake there on a third and manageable. Now going to back him up to third and long.
Last night, Frontier at North, we saw almost like the quintessential expected mistakes. A lot of mistakes at the line of scrimmage. Just guys getting lined up, getting ready. Frontier, Coach Bandy not pleased with kind of some excessive unnecessary roughness calls and unsportsmanlike calls. Not too bad, but most of it happened in line of scrimmage, starts and stops. Here we go. Quick pass out to the far side. It's behind him. Poor pass, and it was intended for Jordan Salcido.
So good 3 and out there for the Stockdale defense. You know, that sack on first down certainly helped things. Ryan Ibarra is the Stockdale defensive coordinator. He was my quarterback at West High in the early 2000s. Heck of a good quarterback.
Well, we certainly have some things to talk about with the coaching situation tonight, and who better to have with us on tonight's game than Rich Cornford.
I was thrilled to get the call for this one. My son, coached at Highland there a little bit. I coached a lot of these coaches here at Stockdale.
Punt taken right at the 30-yard line. Looking for some gaps. Not bad coverage by Highland. So Ben Spears gets up to about the 44-yard line. Let's go right at that topic in that story. The new head coach for the Stockdale Mustangs, Duron Mackey. Anybody in the football world here remembers that name. Why don't you give us your perspective of Duron Mackey?
Well, simply put, he's the best on-field leader that I've ever had as a coach. He's got a charisma about him that's contagious. And when he spoke, the whole team listened. And as a coach, you love to have that from a guy on the field. He went from us to BC, from BC to Boise State, and in about a 5-year span, I think he lost 2 football games. So he's been around the block and in some awful good programs.
Have you had a chance to speak with him since he accepted the position?
Oh, yeah. He and I still speak quite a bit. He was my defensive coordinator last year at Del Oro. So really excited that he got this job here, and he's definitely ready for it.
1st and 10. How about this? The young sophomore, Colton Kaiser, starting for the Mustangs, and he starts off with a nice first down. What a pass and what a catch. We've got Colton Kaiser as a junior, jersey number 10, and a quick shot out to the left side.
Well, Colton, he grew up on Stockdale football and athletics. His dad, Nick Kaiser, is a really good friend of mine, and they he coaches golf over here, but his dad was a heck of a three-sport athlete at Atascadero. We actually competed against each other in high school.
Nick Kaiser, you talk about a stud. You talk about an athlete. You just said it, and I can vouch for that. In motion goes Spears, whistles blow. So Rich Cornford, everybody, a Central Coast guy, and also probably one of the preeminent coaches of this era, and coached at West High School, Ridgeview, Frontier, started Del Oro, got that going. We were lucky enough to have him during some of these breaks start broadcasting games with us for the Kern High Network, and it's been nothing short of spectacular. I've got a lot of storylines I'm going to throw at you because you're the only guy who can really throw at them and have all those answers. You and Van Horn. Our man Kenny Calvin will be on the mic next week. We're back in full force. All right, so it is a 1st and 6. Ball's at the 36-yard line for the Highland Scots. Kaiser handed off, and he is buried. And I mean, he is hit very, very quickly by Julian Vargas. That's a name we've tossed around a few times for the Highland Scotsman.
Yeah, he's a two-way player that was all league for him last year. And, it's going to be interesting because probably the strength of Highland's defense is their defensive line. And where Stockdale might be a little vulnerable is their offensive line. So, a negative play like that, the Mustangs can't let that happen. But for Highland, that's a phenomenal play.
If you're just getting with us, we started a tad early, no problem. No problem with us. The weather wasn't nearly as hot as we thought it was going to be, so we started early. We're fine with that. First quarter, and this is the first possession for the Mustangs. Kaiser, the lefty, flicks one over to the offside, and it's going to be another nice long first down with the run after the catch by Elmo Witten.
Yeah, nice play there by Elmo after the catch, but a good read by Kaiser, an RPO-type play where they, I think, realize it's going to be tough for them to run the ball on this Highland defense. But if they're given, an 8-yard cushion out there, they're going to take that a lot, I think.
Liam Briley, jersey number 66, linebacker for the Highland Scotsman. He's a big one. And I know Kaiser giving him a look pretty much every time before he takes the snap. 1st and 10. Highland 30-yard line. Kaiser hands off. It's a sweep right below us. Again, it's Witten. Witten cuts up, makes a nice move. Some
great perimeter blocking.
Pretty nice downfield blocking by Jacob Patino. I think Patino stopped a little early for Coach Cornford here, but still a nice run.
Yeah, and we see again Elmo Witten getting the ball. He's just a sophomore. This Stockdale team is pretty young. But he's a guy that they want to get the ball in multiple ways. We've already seen him catch the ball and now run it, and we'll, I think, expect a lot more of that as the game progresses.
For you longtime Kern High Network / Bright House Networks / Warner Cable, for all the years we've been coming here, we're always placed right below the public address announcer's speaker right by our head. So you'll hear us both tonight, all three of us. You'll get your fair share. You won't be cheated by commentary.
Dave Longsinger, the third member of the cast.
And that guy, you talk about a legend. I walked in, I felt like I was greeted by an old family member that I hadn't seen in a while. What a loving atmosphere. He's talking on the loudspeaker about, hey, this is the first game of the year. Let's be supportive. Let's be behind these players. Let's really help them along the way. That, from a public address announcer, how beautiful is that?
Well, he's a guy that gets it.
And I said, man, I was writing some stuff down for him, and he was saying that, and I looked over and said, I love that. He goes, well, it's true. I said, yeah, you're right. It's true. Timeout on the field gives us a chance to kind of catch our breath here. Welcome, everybody, to the Kern High Network. Live exclusive coverage of high school activities here in the Kern High School District. Tonight, the activity is athletics. It's football. We're at Stockdale High School, way out on the west side, where they have the Highland Scotsman drive all the way over from the east side. I don't know if you could find two further points, except for maybe Independence or Ridgeview, but great game between the Highland Scotsman, head coach Mike Gutierrez, Stockdale Mustangs, first-year coach in Teron Mackey, the assistants Dean Cup, Carter Donald, and Ryan Ibarra for the Mustangs, and for the Scotsman, Chris Jaquez, Josh Ubetta, Luis Cervantes, David Ubetta, Gabe Johnson Sr., Scott Pardue, and George Moreno. There's some really, really nice football names on both of these coaching staffs, Rich.
Yes, there is. And it's, again, it's two of those top programs in the town. I think both of them trying to reach that elite status that the Liberties and Frontiers and Centennials, I think, are at right now.
Highland is in the South Yosemite Valley League. Kaiser fires one over, and it's just a hair short, one hopper. And the first thing he does is taps his own shoulder pads and said, that's me, that's me. Again, we have 6 leagues now, everybody. 6 leagues. We'll go over that maybe at a timeout when we have some time. What I will tell you is that Stockdale is in the South Yosemite River League, and Highland is in the South Yosemite Valley League. More on that in a little bit.
And both of them are really good leagues, but boy, that Valley League, the other 4 teams in that league are all ranked in the top 15 in this section. Again, Stockdale's trying to reach that status, but that is a dynamite league.
Under 8 to go here in the first quarter. Kaiser in the shotgun. Looks, throws to the corner, has his man. It's thrown far enough away where there's no trouble. And there's a flag in the middle of the field thrown by the umpire after the call, after the play.
Well, I see big number 74.
I think it's going to be 78, Coach.
Maybe downfield illegally.
He was pointing at Kyrian Baker, the big offensive lineman. Kaiser just threw that where no one could get it. He saw right away that the coverage was pretty doggone good.
Now, I wish I had paid attention in warm-ups to Stockdale's kicking game, because that kind of would predict what they're going to take that penalty, put him at 2nd and 10, probably to maybe move him out of field goal range.
Okay.
2nd and 10.
Julian Wilson, our director, producer here this evening. 2nd and 10. Kaiser looks, steps up into the pocket. He sure can run, but he ducks for cover on the 15-yard line. But he does it right between the hash marks. He's right in the middle of the field, so he's been told probably if you go down right where we can kick it through the uprights. 7.5 to go here in this first quarter. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Rich Cornford and Julian Wilson. It's a new era for Julian. No beanies. There was no beanie last night. The wind. Let me tell you about this guy. He didn't even stand up. He didn't even stand up to give us a hug. You know how we get the Julian hug?
That's true. It's a big hug.
No hug, no beanie.
Don't worry, we're going to get some cold days.
The beanie is back later on this year.
Man, Van Horn and I almost got blown out of the announcer's booth last night. Big win. All right, here we go. 3rd and 8, triples out to the right side, Coach.
All right, I like the all-seams route here. Really gave him no chance to bring that ball in, but the coverage was perfect there that was thrown to Ben Spears. Jalen Bailey on the coverage right there.
Glued him pretty well. Kaiser got that beautiful Jim Zorn look, doesn't he? For you young guys, you have no idea, but his dad does.
Wearing that number 10 with that size, left-handed. Wow, there's a lot of similarities there. Does he have Steve Dollarton to throw to?
Well, and we'll see.
All right, big field goal attempt coming up here for the Mustangs.
Ricardo Zamora. Kaiser had gone down in the middle of the field on the running play, so smart move there because Zamora, strong right leg. We'll see. It's going to be a 33-yarder. High snap. The hold gets down. Zamora up and a beauty.
Zamora's field goal is good.
Oh, that was a fantastic job by the holder to get that down, put it there, and it almost got blocked.
Yeah, very good execution by the holder. Kind of saved the day on that one, and a solid kick there. And I think if you'd ask Coach Mackey, hey, first drive, you're going to get some points on the board, I think he'd take that.
What is his take? What's Coach Mackey's take on being the top guy?
Well, I think it's something that he's always strived for and probably be, destiny to be that. We're just with his mentality. I mean, he's a kid that found a love for football while his dad watched the Cowboys, and he rooted for the Raiders against him. And, they grew up, when they played youth football, it was a little different here in town. They played they had to, mark the field with ice chests and things like that. It wasn't real official, but they grew to love the game, and that's the most important thing. His brother Kieran helps him out here too. Kieran had played D-tackle for us. Does a lot of the technical things.
And
Salcido
between
and
coaching him and Ryan Matthews,
Well, they were on the same team.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I was
nice
so
crowd,
smart
the Black
when
Holes.
I had those guys with A.J. Jefferson and Gary Sumlin. And, yeah.
You were the smartest coach in town.
Hey, yeah. The hard part, which of these fast guys do we give the ball to?
I'll tell that story. I'll tell that story in a second for some of our newer viewers that don't know about that era. Here's a kickoff, 3-0. Nice 8-iron. 14-yard line. Will they do it this time? No, they don't. Another fake. Jackson stopped for a second at the 20. Then he is corralled and wrapped up at about the 22-yard line.
All right. Overall, pretty good coverage by the Mustangs there, not biting on the fake. Eventually, I'm sure we'll see that ball given. But it looked like Stockdale had it covered if they had. All right, I'm anxious to see what Mike Gutierrez does now with his quarterback because, he looked a little bit like a deer in headlights that first drive. Hopefully he settled down because he is really high on Isaiah Ott.
Ott, a sophomore. 4 up front for the Mustangs. Quick handoff. Big contact, and it's going to be Jordan Salcido that gets the carry, cuts up, gets a few yards.
Cito on the carry.
For Highland right now, they struggled with penalty and a sack on that first drive. If they can just stay on track, that'll make the transition for the young quarterback a little bit easier. They're breaking in pretty much a new offensive line themselves, though they've kind of been together since the spring, so they do have some chemistry together. See a counter play here right up the middle.
Oh, a nice strong run right there. Goodness, a big hit at the end by Pierce, but not until they pick up the first down. And how about Jack Pierce? You talk about bloodline football. Jack Pierce is the son of the incomparable Bill Pierce, a BC Renegade icon. And Bill Pierce was as tough as you could ever come by. And his son Jack Pierce just laying the wood right there. But a nice run right there by Florentino Callaway.
See, I know Billy Pierce. He's the nicest guy in the world. I never played football against him, though, so I wouldn't have guessed. I played against his brother Vic, actually.
Yep.
When Lompoc came up and played South High, and don't really want to talk about that game because it was the most miserable night of my life. But anyway, a great football family over there, too, yeah. And that was a heck of a hit by Jack.
Well, he hits like his dad. Bill Pierce, absolutely the nicest guy you'll ever meet and have lunch with at Pyrenees with Rick Van Horn and Paul Dameron and Byron Campbell and all those guys. But I can tell you this, on a football field, he's absolutely brutal. Okay, 1st and 10.
Look for Highland to work down to the short side of the field right now.
Ball
at the 40. Any kind of RPO on.
The handoff right up the middle, another big hit. It's Callaway
running hard for about 7 or 8 yards.
How about that?
Some hard hits by Stockdale.
Boy, that was a big hit up front there. But Callaway just kept on driving those feet. Now,
Scotsman moving the ball.
Yeah, they are. And again, this is exactly Mike Gutierrez is very, very good offensively at seeing what Stockdale's doing. I think he's got a few answers right now. I'm anxious to see what Coach Mackey and Coach Ibarra do kind of in this chess match to counter this tough inside run game that Highland's hitting them with. Love to see that kind of effort from the O-lineman.
And he laid out a DB.
But that's a guy that will do that all night long on both sides of the ball.
Everybody's tucked in tight here for the Scotsmen. Oh, bobbled for just a second. Salcido almost lost the football, but boy, he makes a hard cut right upfield, and the ball is going to be close. They're going to say 2nd and inches.
Or 3rd and inches.
Sorry, 3rd and inches, right at the 40-yard line. 3:40 to go here in this first quarter. A nice start. Stockdale's up by a field goal, 3-0.
We see Stockdale playing a too-high defense here.
Ott hands the ball off, and a second effort by Romero, and they pick up the first down. I'll tell you what.
I'm thinking we're going to keep an eye on it, but Highland keeps running the ball between the tackles like this. I'm anxious to see if they put one of those safeties in the box, because there's nothing worse as a defense than just getting a grinding drive like that, like this drive is right now.
Well, Coach, to your point, you had even brought it up in that first series, Ott really just didn't have his feet under him, didn't look very confident. So what does Coach Gutierrez do? Run. Let's get this thing going. Let's get the train moving, and that's what's happening. 3:20 to go in this first quarter. Ott in the shotgun. Will he throw? He will. Looks downfield, fires one, has a man open, and it is caught, and it's down at the 1-yard line. What a fantastic grab. That ball was up for grabs, and that was fantastic. Johnny Brucker goes up and pulls it out of the air. What a heave by Ott. And Silas Orozco was on him like a glove, but it didn't matter. What a catch.
I think Silas's eyes got in the backfield just a little bit, and that's all Isaiah Ott needed, that little bit of space to thread that ball in there.
And Stockdale coaching staff wants to kind of call their first time out and get their wits about him, because that was very, very impressive. Ott rolls to his left, plants his foot, and fires, Coach.
That's got to give the young quarterback a lot of confidence. And again, I think a testament to Mike Gutierrez. Hey, first drive, maybe a little jittery. Let's pound the rock. I mean, heck, their running back, Callaway, big, very quick, speed, power, 400-pound squat, right? He set the tone there, and then they bring in the other back. He's like the Larry Zonka. You got the Mercury Morris here with Ernie Romero. He's a little undersized, but very quick. Pretty good 1-2 punch for this Highland Scott team, but I would expect that you're going to get Callaway right up the gut here as many times as it takes to put the ball in the end zone.
So a timeout called by the coaching staff for Stockdale to slow things down here. 2:55 to go in the first quarter. Stockdale's up by a field goal, but here come the Scots. And flag movement, the play stops, and
they're fortunate they didn't get a flag.
Logan Goodspeed laid a pop at the end, and it's going to be offsides against the Mustangs. So
good news for them is that hurts them by about 3 inches.
Yeah, the tip of the ball is almost already on the line. It's first and goal from the half foot. Highland answers, we think they'll get in. You never know. And they do. Touchdown, Highland Scotsman, and it's Florentino Callaway. He punches it in, and how about that crowd, by the way? They traveled very well from the east side. Almost packed over there for Highland.
Well, and when we talk about the history of Highland football, it really starts here in this century with when Mike Gutierrez took over about 10 years ago.
Sure does.
Because they had struggled for a while. He's brought stability to that program, a great work ethic, a solid coaching staff, and they've really probably one of the premier programs, if not the premier program on the east side.
So with 2:45 to go in the first, it's 6-3 Highland. Stockdale scored on their first drive with a nice field goal, actually a really good series. And Highland answered back, punctuated a great drive. Was the pass by Isaiah Ott over to Brucker. And, boy, that looked easy, didn't it? Very, very casual kick by Peter Parra. But then again, it's Pete Parra. He's been kicking for the Scotsman for 3 years now, and that was just a graceful slash right through the field goal post. So great start to this game, and really no surprises, really, Rich. And there's nothing about this start that has me going, oh, my gosh. I mean, you've got a Stockdale Mustang squad that's pumped up. They're at home, packed parking lot. They want to execute. They want to look good. The place is packed, so they start off. They get the ball down, get a nice field goal. And then Highland, no surprise there. After their first series have kind of figured some things out, Coach Gutierrez says, let's do what we do. Let's pound it. And right when they got Mustangs thinking, here's another big pounding run. A beautiful pitch and catch.
Well, yeah, he got me on that, too, because right when Coach Cornford says, hey, they need to drop a safety down there to stop the run, that's when he calls the pass play. He's, like I said, I've always been extremely impressed with Mike Gutierrez in his offensive play calling.
I thought he might throw sooner or later,
yeah,
because he just kept on pounding. So what a good start. Nice to have you with us, Kern High Network. I'm Vance. That's Rich. Julian is our director and our producer, Javier.
Kickoff, Spears and Witten deep for Stockdale.
Our manager is here. He's scouring the grounds, making sure everything looks good and sounds good. Thank you, Javier. And we'll give a shout out to Stockdale here in the second quarter, Stockdale High School and all their administration. Here's the kickoff. That's a good 4-iron right there. Oh, wow, a long 4-iron. I'll say a 3-iron.
Stockdale take over 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line.
California high school football, any ball like that that crosses the plane of the goal line cannot be returned. So touchback, it'll be at the 20.
Hey, Coach, is it just me or does Peter Power make it look awfully easy?
Boy, yeah, it's a nice smooth stroke, kind of like in golf, right? You don't, if you try too hard, the ball don't go where you want it to go.
I thought it was a 4-iron. That was a 3-iron. I mean, you know, not a fairway medal yet, but that was pretty solid. So, here we go, Coach Cornford. Your thoughts on this series here for the Mustangs?
Well, I think what we saw last time is Stockdale really trying to hurt them on the perimeter. The one time they tried to get up the middle, they got stuffed. That doesn't mean that they completely abandoned that inside run game, but I think Highland already realizes that short passes out wide and fly sweeps is going to be Stockdale's bread and butter.
Quarterback is Colton Kaiser, the junior, jersey number 10. A handoff right up the middle of the field. Can he get away?
Highland.
Wow.
Behind
Highland
blocking, bounces out for a gain of about 9. 2nd and 1.
Kenneth Highland, he's a senior, jersey number 4. And I thought he was going to break a big one there for a second.
Yeah, he had a chance maybe to get a few more yards, but that's a positive play for Stockdale in their inside run game. I had just mentioned how they got stuffed so bad the last time they tried it. It is important for them to be balanced. They did, heck of a drive last time. They kicked the field goal.
2nd and 1. Kaiser, high snap, has to go get it. Quickly hands it off to Hyang again. Hyang this time trapped, thrown down. But I still think he got the first.
I like the way he finished that run. Yeah,
exactly.
He knows where that first down marker is, put the pads down, leaned into it, and picked up the first. I think.
I always talked about Eric Dickerson. He always fell forward. Now, he was going a million miles an hour, but he always fell forward.
At the 31-yard line.
It's a first down. Hyang got it. 1:40 to go in this first quarter. Great start to this first Friday night game of the season. Looks nice. Kaiser stands on the 26-yard line.
Stockdale's got a misalignment here. They got their tight end covered up.
Kaiser fires, and it's just behind his intended receiver, Christian Dalton.
All right, they were a little fortunate they didn't get it called there. I think the coach was going crazy on the sideline trying to get the receiver, I think, to back off the line because he was covering up the tight end.
Ramirez on the coverage. 2nd and 10.
Got away with one there.
The Z-man, Zylan Moya, a senior, number 72, the right tackle. He's standing next to Joseph Martin, who's doing a little dance, and he likes the music, 74. And the center is big Joshua Miller, a sophomore. So Coach Mackey's got himself a nice offensive line.
I believe it's
2nd and 10.
Sophomore, 2 juniors, and 2 seniors on that line.
Ball comes down the near side. It's a beauty. It's tossed up, and it is almost caught. What a pass to Ben Spears.
Spears falls incomplete.
And
beautiful pass.
Spears was in full stride,
3rd
and
10.
let's give it to the defense. His defender was right on top of him, and he's getting a little love from his other DB because that was a very, very close play. And by the time Spears had stuck his hand at it, it kind of kicked back into his face mask.
And Spears is a heck of a good football player. He's a guy that they think might be able to play on the next level. So inches away there from that being a huge play.
Boy, what a toss by Kaiser. And Jalen Bailey was on him. He was sticking him, but the pass was so perfect that it just got past him. Here's a big play here, 3rd and 10, just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Kaiser takes the snap, wants to go right across the middle, and he does. Finds his man. What a great pass. Elmo Witten gets to midfield and just inside Scotsman territory.
That's a good play called by Cortez Donald there. I think Highland threw a blitz out there. They had some man coverage, and good throw on time by Kaiser.
That is Kaiser to Witten.
Hey, I want to take this opportunity before the quarter runs out to say hi to Bradley Showers. Brad Showers, after being the longtime head baseball coach and multiple Central Section title winners, retired, and I know Brad's still in love with his Stockdale Mustangs and wants to follow them and be a part of it. Brad, good evening. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Again, working the short West Coast screen.
There's Elmo Witten again. Again, he's just a sophomore. So very young Stockdale team and a very good strategic battle here going on between these two clubs.
Both both teams, well, certainly in the second series, but right now, boy, Stockdale looks aggressive mentality. You know, they just got a we're coming at you vibe, you know.
Well, this Black Hole, you know, they won the Peak Award. That's the student section here for being the best crowd in town. And, you know, they've supported a program that has at times struggled here recently.
Kaiser in trouble.
Yeah, featured in the Peak Awards with the magazine.
Loss of 3, so it'll be 4th and about 4.
And
there's a flag on the play.
I tell you what, we were just talking about young Jalen Bailey, the defensive back that was on Spears.
There is a flag.
And that's the end of the first quarter. We'll figure out what they're going to do about it. We'll be back. What a nice start. 7-3, Highland up over Stockdale. Back right after this on the Kern High Network. Welcome back as we go into the second quarter. Coach, what was the call?
I think somebody said some bad words out there, and they dinged him 15 yards for it.
Ooh. So Coach Gutierrez not pleased with his defensive back. We start the second quarter with Colton Kaiser standing on the 33-yard line of the Scots. He flicks one over here, and it's caught. What can be done about it? Oh, nice open field tackle there. Hyang makes the catch, but a really, really good play out there by Johnny Brucker.
Yeah, Johnny Brucker is a guy that Mike Gutierrez is really high on. And since the spring to now, he's put 200 pounds on the big 3 lifts, bench, clean, and squat, which I think is a testament to, you know, that kid's out there training hard, which Mike said the whole team had a really good offseason, but he was one of the top guys there. That showed with that open field tackle.
I talked to Coach Bandy about the offseason in the summer, and he said, Vance, it was taken over by our student leaders. It was taken over by our team leaders, and they made sure that everybody progressed. Bad snap. Kaiser able to go down and get it, has the presence of mind to scoop it up, but I think he was down. Ball popped out. Highland wants it. They think they've got it, but the white hat was all over it. Kaiser's knee was on the ground when the ball popped out. But great pursuit by the Scotsman all over Colton.
That was good pressure. Good job by the officials being on that call right there. But to your point you were making, when you're, as a coach, when your best athletes are your hardest workers, you're going to have a great year. When it's the other way around, sometimes those years are miserable. But, yeah, that's a really good testament.
When guys would get traded to go to the Chicago Bulls, when Mike was there, they would say, we knew it was going to be tough because the greatest player on the planet was the hardest worker.
Amen.
Kaiser down the near side. Another beautiful spiral, this time just outside of the fingertips of the intended receiver. And again, that was Ben Spears. No flag, so that will bring up a big decision here.
Yeah, we got a fourth and very long here. You see, when they go deep, they like to go to Spears. They like his ability, but Highland did a good job putting 2 guys on him there, and it's looking right now like Stockdale's going to go for this. Cortez Donald, who was Ryan Matthews' backup his senior year, but ended up playing outside linebacker for us at West High, is the play caller here for the Mustangs.
What a squad you had. Okay, 4th and 18. Kaiser drops back, steps up for a second, in trouble, gets hold down from behind. Hey, what a nice play out there by Frank Wright. The big fella just pulled him down from behind and yanked him down. First down, Highland.
Boy, that Highland pass rush is for real right now. Like we said, that was the strength of their team versus an offense that's an offensive line for Stockdale that is pretty young. And right now, they just bailed Highland out for that series with a couple big pass rushes.
First down, Highland after a nice stop after Stockdale moved the ball again.
So
they'll take over 1st and 10 at their 39.
Highland's defense does their job. Here comes Isaiah Ott and the offense. Let's see what they can do. Just over 10 minutes to go in this first half. 7-3 Highland. In motion is Romero. Ott throws one up, dangerous territory, and it would have been picked off. It probably would have been intercepted by Sanchez, but his teammate Silas Orozco came in and lowered the second boom, and the ball popped free.
Yeah, I think Highland a little fortunate to get that one back again. Really good coverage by the Stockdale defensive backs.
That pass hung up there a little too long. Coach Cornford started shaking. 2nd and 10. This one's out there quickly. Ball's popped open. That may be a fumble. That looked like he had caught it. We'll see. What's the decision going to be? Got to be made pretty quickly.
The ball loose, and it's at least a loss. We'll find out who has the ball.
So they're calling it a fumble.
Oh, they're going to say it was. So it was a fumble.
Makes it a loss of about 10.
Sometimes it just comes down to a wrestling match under that pile right there. And you got to learn sometimes the hard way that just because you think you got it doesn't mean you always did. But Johnny Brucker, a really good job of coming up with that ball under the pile.
Well, the weightlifting paid off, didn't it?
There we go. Yeah. Every little bit helps.
Oh, now they're saying after all of that, it was incomplete.
3rd and 10.
So they went over, checked out the scrum for the ball, came up and did the old arrow pointing Highland ball, but
that's even a bigger break for the
white hat
Scots.
came in and said, hey, guys, it was incomplete the whole time.
Okay, we've seen Highland able to pressure Stockdale. Let's see if Stockdale can get some pressure on Highland.
3rd and 10, one back in the backfield. Brucker down low by us. They fake it. The ball loses it. It bounces off the weather. That's a good call right there.
I think they're going to call that incomplete. Yeah.
Incomplete pass. So
and it's 4th and 10.
And it's getting pretty spicy down there early in the deal here. And Isaiah Ott went to throw it, and it slipped out of his hands, but he picked it up off the bounce. It's a great move if you can get away with it, but he can't, and it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down.
Looked like Australian rules football there for a second.
Wait for the call on the field.
I was just with the great Terry Hallam today and coined the great phrase, that's a great move if you can get away with it. But he could not.
Oh, the personal foul against Stockdale.
Well, it got awfully chippy. Now, the coaching staff from Stockdale, obviously not pleased. They thought it was mutual resentment from both sides between these players, but
it's a little cliche. It's the second guy that always gets caught, right?
And now the ball is directly below Rich and I. It's right on the 47-yard line of the north side of the field, and that's pretty much where we're lined up. They are right below us. 9:27 to go in the half. 7-3. Highland leads with a great touchdown that they scored in the first quarter, and Stockdale scored in the very first drive. Field goal. So here we go. Ott in the shotgun. There's one back next to him, and everybody's packed in pretty tight. He gives it to that running back, and that's Romero. Romero with a really nice run, and he's going to pick up.
Cisneros in the stop.
Well, they're going to say he was brought down just right short of the first. So ball's going to be at the 38-yard line, 2nd and 1. A strong run there by Ernesto.
Well, we see him running behind Ethan Guzman, the 3-year starter there at center. There they go again.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. If you can call a 5-yard run between the hash marks beautiful, that sure was.
At the 31-yard line.
You called the blocking, and Romero just sidestepped and just danced his way to 5 yards and a first down.
Well, there's a great matchup between Ethan Guzman, the Highland center, and Logan Goodspeed, the A-gap player there for the Stockdale Mustangs. Lines up between the center and the guard, two of their each side's top player.
Ott fires one deep, and it is going to be a penalty.
Boy, there was a lot of contact over there by the defensive back, a little bit by the receiver.
Flag on the
but
play as the ball
good
sails
call.
10
Silas
yards over
Orozco
the
there
receiver's head.
on the coverage.
So, the great thing about it for Highland is that Ott let it go. He let it fly. He was running out here to the left side. He had some room to run. I didn't know if he was going to try to chew up some yardage, but he let it go into some pretty tight coverage, and it's going to pay off.
First down, Highland.
I know Stockdale is short a little bit of depth. They've had a few guys hurt, and then now they got more guys going both ways in this first game of the season. Boy, with the adrenaline pumping, you can gas yourself out. And right now the Stockdale defense looks a little bit tired, and Highland's taking it right at him.
Ott fumble, pick back up. You got to be kidding me. Now the ball pops out.
Flag on the play.
So Salcedo bobbles it. It bounces right back to him, but then he's popped by Silas Orozco, and the ball popped out there, and a flag on the play.
Personal foul, helmet to helmet.
Helmet to helmet by the Mustangs. So Highland right now just catching a lot of good vibes.
Football gods are smiling on the Scots right now.
First and goal from the 1, and they're right up on top of the ball. No need to wait. Isaiah Ott looks over. Coaching staff, Mike Gutierrez and his guys said, let's go. Romero right next to him. They give it to Romero, and that is an easy touchdown. He plows it in there. Highland scores the second touchdown of the evening.
13, Stockdale 3 with 8-12.
Looked very similar to the first. They like to get it in close there, go right up the gut following the block of Ethan Guzman. Again, when you have a center that's a 3-year starter for you, that's like gold, because he sets the protections. You know he knows all the footwork and really the anchor of that offensive line there. Again, that's Ethan Guzman. Shout out to the senior.
Jersey number 75 for the Guzman family. And here comes Parra. We were talking about how he makes it look easy.
And his extra point's good.
And he does, right through the uprights. We're going to take a short break. It's 14-3, Stockdale up. Highland up at Stockdale. Back right. Welcome back, everybody. Nice touchdown there for the Scotsman, Coach.
Another great drive by Mike Gutierrez. Got a couple penalties really helped him out there, but early in the year, and maybe for the whole season, doing the little things better than everybody else is going to win you ball games. And, staying disciplined, staying on your blocks, following your assignments, all of that stuff. Right now, Highland's doing that better than Stockdale.
We want to thank Stockdale High School for hosting us tonight. Special thank you to Stan Green, also the Kern High School District Superintendents, and our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union for allowing us to put on events like this in our community. For the administration, Principal Erica Pierce, AP of Instruction Teddy Armijo, AP of Administration Aaron Rader, the Dean is Stephanie Bai, Athletics Director our good friend Justin Roberts, and the Activities Director Leah McLean. Thank you, Stockdale High School. Ball taken at the 25-yard line. Couple of moves here and there. Somehow still on his feet, but now he's going backwards.
Pooch kick takes it to about the 28.
Ball got popped out, and everybody on the Highland side is really reacting like it was a real fumble.
I think it happened pretty late, though, in that scrum when they'd already blown it dead. So Erica Pierce was a teacher at West High when Duran was a student. over there. She's the principal at Stockdale now, married to a really good friend of mine, Jeremy Pierce, former college athlete herself, and I think she understands the role that football plays with a school, kind of setting the tone, and how sports in general are so important for high school athletes and students.
Stockdale, excellent school, as well as Highland. Ball on the ground at the end. Kaiser in trouble again. He has been under duress for,
that's an incomplete pass. Intelligent
I'd say 50% of the plays. He's been under some heavy duress.
Yeah, he did a good job just to throw that ball incomplete instead of losing 7 or 8 yards if he just dove on it. Again, we're seeing some issues with that Stockdale offensive line. They have a freshman starting on there, or getting some playing time. And, this is a whole different level than Golden Empire. And the speed that it's played at, and like we said, the strength of Highland's defense is that defensive front. And it's led Stockdale to make several mistakes.
2nd and 10. We're under 8 minutes now left in this half. It's 14-3 Highland. A handoff right in the middle of the football field. Ooh, some big contact right there. The second hit was Florentino Callaway. But some of the dirty work done in there early by Roman Robles, number 51. He also got in on the action. And so here we go again, Coach, 3rd and 9, deep in their own territory.
This is when the Mustangs have been looking Ben Spears' direction on these 3rd and longs.
3rd and 10 Mustangs.
4 receivers out, 3 to the top, 1 on the bottom here.
Hyang's right next to Kaiser. Kaiser, quick look to the left side, overthrows it. It was intended out there for probably the tallest player on the team, Christian Dalton.
So Christian's the backup quarterback. He and Colton Kaiser were in a battle, for that starting job, and Kaiser ended up on top. But Dalton's a heck of an athlete and good size you see out there, and Colton just missed him that time.
Zamora in a kick.
Colton's
deep for Highland.
Having an on-course, on-field course in
timeout Highland.
Corrective action. It's coaching staff. We have a timeout, and I'm going to take this timeout, Coach, to go over these 6 leagues. I was at a speaking engagement earlier this week and talking about the health of Kern County sports. Cal State, University of Bakersfield, BC, and high school, Kern High School District, and I asked how many people went to high school here in Kern. 95% of the crowd. I said, did you know there were 6 leagues now, 19 high schools, 13,000 student athletes, the South Sequoia League, Chavez, Delano, Kennedy, McFarland, Shafter, Taft, Union, and Wasco, the South Yosemite River League, Centennial, Frontier, Garces Memorial, Liberty, and Stockdale, the South Yosemite Valley League, Bakersfield High School, Bakersfield Christian, Highland, Independence, and Ridgeview. The South Yosemite Mountain League, East, North, South, Tehachapi West. The South Yosemite Horizon League, Arvin, Del Oro, Foothill, Golden Valley, and Miramonte. And then Maricopa represents our county in the Southern Section Coast Valley League. So what a different complexion. A punt is blocked.
Zamora does a great job getting that off, and it'll be knocked dead or touched dead at the 48-yard line of Highland.
All right, yeah, some definite issues with the Stockdale punt protection over there. They've got a very fortunate roll to net about 20 yards on that when that could have been taken the other way very easily.
Your overall thoughts on this massive footprint of the Kern High School District and how prominent it is in the state of California?
Well, I think the second largest school district in the entire state. We do a wonderful job for our student athletes. When you look at the Achieve magazine and the photography and the writing that is in there and how it highlights every single school and so many athletes, it's just an awesome deal that, something that these kids will hang on to, for the rest of their lives.
So the Mustangs now need to dig in deep here on defense. 1st and 10 for the Scotsmen, and they're pretty much at midfield. Ott in trouble, flings one out, and that is really a great play out there by Diego Duenas. Duenas had to go up as the receiver and knock it out of what would have been surely an interception, and it was going to be picked off by John Cisneros, but Duenas had to go up and just turn into a DB quickly, or that would have been picked off. Dangerous pass.
On the other end of that, Ott took a licking by Logan Goodspeed there. Just hammered him, but popped right up to the sophomore's credit.
2nd and 10, ball at their own 48. Ott taking a look, surveying, pointing fingers. 4 up front for the Mustangs.
Stockdale playing their safeties over 15 yards deep here, about 17 yards deep.
Snap finally comes. Ott throws it across the middle. That ball was deflected up front, one of the big fellas.
Great play up front. Again, good pressure.
Okay, and they're fortunate that did get deflected, because that RPO there, your quarterback riding in with the running back, opened up that number 3 receiver. I don't know if the linebacker would have got there on time or not, but that's why you run those RPOs, to put those linebackers in that run-pass dilemma. See if they do it again here. So we're looking at the number 3 receiver from the bottom, the most inside receiver. You see that space he's got over there. I think they've got it again.
Bad snap, and it's on the ground, and did he get it? Ott is trying to get it, and he finally fell on it, but under heavy-duty pressure, a high snap to start with. It wasn't all on him, and then he finally did the right thing by just covering up. But here comes that Mustang defense coach.
Boy, they needed that one. All right, now they'll get the ball back, ideally with good field position. Now, the Stockdale punt returner is about 45 yards back, 40 yards now down the field from the line of scrimmage. That's Ben Spears. Stockdale looks a little confused here. Okay.
Well, they have 12 on the field.
Yeah. Better get that guy off before the ball snaps.
Okay. And here comes better get snapped real quick. And it's going to be a flag. Oh, they were trying to call. Was Gutierrez trying to call a timeout? And it's going to be delay of game. So not much of a breeze tonight.
30.
Not much of a breeze.
About the 30-yard line of the Scotsman.
But still, going back 5 yards, and the optics on the discombobulation never good.
And one of the hardest things early on in the season is those special teams, and just making sure kids' heads are in the game enough to realize, hey, it's 4th and 25. I think we're going to punt.
It's a high one. It's a wobbler. And it's brought down at the 41-yard line. So,
ball struck a Highland guy at about the 42-yard line. So
Mustangs opportunity to start this series in really good field position with 5:43 to go in the half. They trail by 11. The closest they've been to the end zone was their first drive, and they settled for a field goal, and they haven't sniffed it since.
Whole key for them is going to be this first down play to set the tone. If they get 2-3 yards, that'll be a positive. They've had some bad snaps and some bad things happen on first downs. They're just not equipped to be that far behind the chains.
Kaiser takes the snap. They hand off, hands it to Hyang. Hyang takes a couple of pops, and that's good.
That is a solid play on first down. Picked up 4.
Nice tough tackle out there. A couple of Scotsmen. Roman Robles. Boy, that guy likes to hit, doesn't he?
Right side of the Mustang line, or on the right off tackle.
He likes contact. He and Chaz Romero. I like this Highland defense, Coach.
Oh, they fly to the football. Again, it's another sign of a Mike Gutierrez coach team. You know, Mike has been preaching finish every play, every block, every tackle, go to the whistle, and we see that right now by this defense.
Hyang back with Kaiser. Whistles blow, flags fly.
Defensive end here was lined up in the neutral zone.
And that looks like it might be Frank Wright.
Offside again. Highland lining up in the neutral zone.
That's the luxury, everybody, of me having Coach Cornford up here. Rich the same way. So is Kenny. I'm blessed. You guys know this stuff inside and out. And Coach knew it right away that the big fella, Frank Wright, and he's a big guy. He was lined up just over the ball.
Quick and a great athlete. Watch him on this rush here.
Oh, he brings it. Kaiser throws, and it's picked off, intercepted. What a play by who else? Brucker. And Brucker gets knocked out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. It was deflected. It went in and out of the hands of the receiver. And Brucker caught it like it was a Sunday afternoon at the park, just like it was nothing. He took off.
Yeah, that pass intended for Ben Spears, who, again, is a great athlete and one of Stockdale's top players. And he's going to just have to get himself mentally back into this game and let that one go. But a huge break for the Highland Scots here. Now they get the ball with good field position, 4:40 to go in the half. And, again, I would think that they're going to grind the clock a little bit and try to, run right behind their stud center.
Well, I don't know. You know more than I, but you never know. They get to the far side, and it's a nice gain. And Salcido lowers the left shoulder and delivers the blow. That's a big, big run. And you talk about a gut punch.
Salcido gain of 14.
Highland gets to start on right around the 43-yard line, and they start off with a really nice drive. I mean, a really nice run. It looks good, and then, boom, they give the ball right back to the Scotsman.
Great blocking by the Highland wide receivers. My son used to coach these Highland receivers, and that was something that he really emphasized. And not sure who's coaching them now, but great job there maintaining that block.
Ott tripped up at the last second. Oh, what a nice job that was. Just a lot of pressure by Jaden Torres.
Great backside pressure on Ott.
And he got right behind Ott, and I think he might have nicked him on the elbow.
Well, again, just being in that quarterback's peripheral vision, closing in on him has to affect that throw a little bit.
Under 4 to go here in the first half. Nice football game. But the Mustangs trying to keep it close. They're down 11. And the Scotsmen getting hungry for another touchdown. That's a nice run right there. They put it in the hands of Romero. And Ernesto, the junior,
good speed with his stop on Romero, but not before he
gets shut down about 3 yards before first.
It's about 3rd and 4 for the Scotsman.
I've got to think this is probably 4-down territory for Highland.
I would agree. Split way out to the left over here is Karam Safa. Ball's on the ground! Fumble!
Boy, we've seen that a couple times now where that snap looked like it was decent.
That snap results in a loss of yardage, and it'll be a 3rd and about 10 or 11 for Highland.
Boy, Stockdale needed that. Timothy Nielsen there putting the pressure on up front. Nielsen, again, he's the freshman. That kid's a freshman.
The kid running off right now?
Already one of the strongest guys on the team. Playing a little bit of both ways here. We mentioned that they had a freshman playing for him. But that kid's got a bright future.
I mean, he shoved about 3 Scotsmen back into the QB. That was almost a scoop and score, Coach. That was really close to going all the other way.
Well, Highland's got all the bounces early on here.
4th and awfully long here. Ott tosses it out here, and it is incomplete. Either way, it's going to be Mustang football. So a quick turnaround. Mustangs get the ball back. Good news for Stockdale. Highland getting a little frustrated now.
Yeah, and both teams with a little bit of snap issues, which is somewhat common early in the season. Boy, I just love to watch the reaction down there by Bradley Taylor. He's on the scooter, number 5.
I saw him.
Can't play, but he is out there encouraging his teammates. I mean, he was their team leader. He was the guy, and broke that fibula. They're hoping that if they can make it into the playoffs, he'll be able to play again. His senior year. 6 foot, 208 pounds, just a great, charismatic ball player that they hate to lose. But that being said, he's being a great teammate right now by encouraging his buddies.
Well, he's also got a couple of water bottles in his basket on his scooter, so he's bearing gifts. Officials having a quick meeting there. Hey, if you want to help out the young student athletes here in our community, and not just football, volleyball, baseball, basketball, softball, however you can, wrestling, any of these sports, as we have a timeout on the field, if
as I surmise,
you want to contribute and volunteer and be a part, go to www.kcoa.com. That's Kern County Officials Association, the acronym for that. Sign up, volunteer, be a part of it. Don't worry, you're not going to be thrown out in a football field with a white hat and be making all these big, tough calls. That's not going to be you, but they'll take the support. They'll teach you. They groom you. Last night, Rick Van Horn was telling me that the one thing about the KCOA here locally, they do the best job in the Valley of grooming and teaching and getting people ready. I see it a lot in basketball as well. I see young officials starting at Frostsoft, and about 3 years later, they're up at the varsity level. We need them. The state needs them. The nation needs them. You talk about being a hero. Come on out and help by being an official.
Yeah, it is. I officiated 1 year after I was done playing football at Baylor. I still needed another year to graduate. Officiated some junior high, JV, and 8-man football over there and had a blast. And really is something. And the pay is not bad. So,
well, you're a part of something also. You know, Friday night you get to kind of hang out, sit on the couch, or be a part of it. I refereed all through my high school and college years. And, I mean, I'd have a Cal State game on a Thursday night in the Civic Center, and Saturday morning, 2 days later, we're going, 8 hours in the gym at Arvin doing, 7th grade girls basketball. It'd be double overtime, and it would end 4-3. But the kids needed it. The parents loved it. So you get the hint here. If you want to help out and be a part and contribute to the shortage that we're having here of officials, we really appreciate it. KCOA.com. Okay, 4th down. Just a little squibber.
Takes it Highland bounce there.
Sure.
Stockdale needs to get away.
Highland has a lot of good bounces tonight.
After another defensive stop, they'll take over with 2.
Well, that changes the scenario from where we thought Stockdale was going to get the ball at their own 42. Now they're backed up at their own 10. I think they still need to be somewhat aggressive here, but a cautious aggressiveness, because you don't want to give Highland the ball back with any kind of field position and any clock left over.
2:25 left, long way to go. They break the huddle. Kaiser's got his heel on his 9-yard line. Spears on the carry.
On the handoff from Kaiser.
Great pursuit again from the Highland defense.
Gaining some yardage, maybe about 2 to 3.
Yeah, you never really get the feeling that defense is in trouble.
Yeah, that defensive line absorbs the blockers, and those linebackers flow downhill to make plays at or near the line of scrimmage. For a linebacker, one thing you don't want is a guy that gets 25 tackles, but they're all after 8-yard gains.
Those hurt too.
You want your linebackers playing downhill, making plays at or near the line of scrimmage.
Kaiser tosses one. Really nice pitch and catch out there to
nice delivery.
Christian Dalton. He's a senior.
For a first down to Dalton.
And he is
Kaiser
a specimen out there.
Boy, you like his size. Yeah, you just look at him and you think, okay, he's got 4 or 5 inches on that defensive back. Oh, they got an uncovered guy.
Kaiser finds him. Nice pass, nice catch. Spears up to about the 33-yard line.
All right, see if Stockdale starts using a little tempo here, because they caught Highland switching around there.
Mustangs have 1 timeout. Clock is moving pretty quickly, 1:13. Wind starting to pick up, coming directly from the west. I mean, it is coming right from the coastline. Kaiser, another one, flicks one out. It's caught out there by Witten. Witten goes down, first down.
Boy, nice job getting that off the grass. Low ball, but he picked it up and then picked up a couple yards. 58 seconds left. Stockdale has, I believe, 1 timeout left. They need to pick up the pace here a little bit. And again, early in the season, you're not going to be quite as good as your 2-minute offense as you will be later.
Hyang is the one back on his right side. A lot of time clicking off right now. Under 40 seconds to go. Kaiser drops straight back. Nice job by the offensive line. Kaiser in trouble! And it's caught, actually. That'll be a completion. He took a huge hit.
Gain of 5, but the clock's still rolling.
And the ball lands in Hyang's hands, and he actually got something. So now Coach Mackey's going to have to call a timeout and burn their last one. But Kaiser took a big pop from behind. He was under major pursuit by Frank Wright. Wright got him from behind. Ball popped out and went right into Hyang's hands.
Heck of a pop there by Frank Wright. But I'll tell you what, you will not find a tougher kid than Kaiser.
No way.
What he has gone through in his life and his life story is nothing short of remarkable. And I won't go into detail here, but the kid is as tough as they come.
I have a question. I want to back up for a second, because I thought it was 4th down when
I think they must have had the marker wrong, which kind of screwed. Stockdale had to burn one of their timeouts when they had to get their defense back there. But I think they had to. It said 4th down on the marker when it was actually 3rd down, and then they corrected it. But it definitely threw the Mustangs off.
Okay.
First game for the chain guy too.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, 25 seconds. What you're trying to do here, they've kicked one field goal. They probably need to get it down to at least the 20 to be in any kind of shape for another one. But with this wind going side to side,
Kaiser has to go up again and should be down, right?
I don't think so. I don't think he ever had possession of that. And that's the last thing you wanted to have happen if you're the Mustangs.
In Highland taking over, 17 seconds remaining in the first half.
Oh, man.
So we've seen those snaps from both sides, and regardless of which side it is, it always seemed like Highland is the one that comes down with it. So now Gutierrez with 2 timeouts, 17 seconds left. He can reach into his bag of tricks.
And Spears down for a second. He hops up, shakes his head, and says, I'm all right. Wow.
All right, I think it is imperative if you're a Mustang to keep them out of the end zone. And if you're Coach Gutierrez over there, you want to dig it in, dig that knife in and twist and try to put these guys away at the end of the first half. So expect Highland to be very aggressive here.
Okay, Ott
at quarterback
has Romero behind him. They keep it on the ground. Romero gets in between the hash up to about the 24-yard line. And that's going to be the last time out for Highland High School, we think. Or are they just going to go for a field goal? And they're probably going to put Parra up there to make it a 14-point deficit. And that's what they're going to do. We've talked about how calm, cool, and collected he looks like when he's out there. So Coach Gutierrez agrees, I'm sure, and says, go get us 3 more.
So you're looking at a 39-yard field goal with a pretty good cross breeze. I did a little kicking in high school. Don't know if you knew that. But in these situations, I'm going to aim for the left upright and let that wind carry it into the middle.
Last night, kicker for Frontier, one of the better ones, every attempt that he seemed to have was going right into the wind at North High. It was going towards the coastline. It was going that way, and that wind was just coming in and howling. And finally, in the third quarter, he had an opportunity to kick one towards the gym, and just wham, he said, hey, look, if I get one chance with the wind at my back tonight, I'm going to send it, and he did. So here's Parra, 40-yarder. Yeah. 2 seconds left in the half. He makes it look easy. Will he do it here? Parra up and into the wind. Oh, and he just comes up short. Just came up short. So good news for the Mustangs. We will give you a wrap-up when we come back after this when we start the third quarter. Hope you're enjoying all of this on the Kern High Network. It's 14-3, Highland up over Stockdale.
The Stockdale.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think. Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit. After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Plord, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
I was shearing my lamb for fair. I have 2 lambs.
This lamb is stubborn.
Taking care of animals is you feed them twice a day, make sure they have water, walk them, make sure they're ready for fair.
Vet science is the first year before you can actually go into animal science, and it's a lot of like hands-on with the different animals, and you get to learn different things such as giving shots, castrating, all that fun stuff. For me, wanting to be a vet when I'm older, it prepares me. All the stuff that I'm learning in ag is definitely going to help me.
I'm in ag communications. Anything that you see on the Facebook page is what we do, and pictures, and we do all the posters that are around campus, anything that just promotes ag.
Our students are all part of the FFA organization, and through that we have a chapter officer team. We do monthly chapter meetings because we're trying to get them involved outside of class. So they can find something that they're interested in, and they need something that's going to hook them so that they're ready for life after high school.
In animal care, the students learn a variety of things, whether it's tools or terms. In the veterinary field, they learn about the skeletal systems, animal nutrition, the housing, how to properly care for them. They also have the opportunity in the spring to actually go work at a veterinary hospital or at an animal shelter or a grooming salon.
Animal restraint, weight and temperature, pulse, respiration, all of that I learned here.
They take a state certified test, and if they pass, they become a certified vet assistant right out of high school.
It's always hands-on, and so I think that's what really helps us, is that we're not just getting it from a textbook, we're actually doing these things, and we're actually practicing these things that we'll be doing in our future careers.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit.
After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed, because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
We're in manufacturing engineering. We design parts, 3D parts, 2D parts, we create assemblies.
It's helping me get training in all of this stuff, like the computer programs that we have here, the machines that we have here. We learn a lot of math in here, mostly geometry and fractions, because I love math. That's why I'm in this class.
Mr. Lemmy, he's a great instructor.
So the problem is this piece itself.
He really goes hands-on with us. He helps us as much as we can. We've learned a lot from him.
Right now we're supplying students that are skilled in the safety, basic operation of machine work, and then they also leave with some soft skills. They understand they have to be on time. They understand that they have to get up and talk to people. Most of them are walking out of here with a solid foundation in the entry level of a trade.
They can have a job anywhere they go because they have a basic understanding of what it's going to take to put products out that people are going to use.
Hopefully this is a good career for me. You know, end up doing something good, have a good life, and make some money.
Well, we're learning a lot, and especially with just the basic knowledge of what you would need for an entry-level job.
All the basic skills to be a medical assistant in a doctor's office or a clinic.
You're leaning on it, and that'll make a difference.
And then they also do on-the-job training, and they work in doctor's offices or clinics throughout Kern County. The kids are job ready, and many of them are employed before the end of the school year. They're promised a job, as well as they continue their education. We have many registered nurses out there and even physicians.
I'm thinking I want to be an anesthesiologist. So a lot of school, but it'll be worth it in the end.
Right now we're learning the different roles, what a game designer is, what they do, and how video games are made, and how to deconstruct them.
We're also going to be teaching the hard skills, which includes learning the Unreal Engine. And what the Unreal Engine is it's a game development tool that students will be able to use to make their very own video games. And this is something that actually industry professionals use every day to make some of the top-selling games. They're all the same size. You're all on the same plane. There's no undulating terrain or anything like that.
Our instructor, he's really amazing. He encourages everybody. He's really fun, and he makes learning fun.
So they've got top-of-the-line computers here, and they're set up to excel. I would be surprised if other students their age coming out of high school would have anywhere near the level of expertise that these guys are going to have.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses. Having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities. We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
Welcome back. Third quarter action. I'm Vance Palm. I've got Rich Cornford next to me, and right next to him is our director and our producer, Julian Wilson. Third quarter action. Highland will kick off to the host school, the Stockdale Mustangs. Highland is up 14-3. That's a sand wedge. And big contact. The ball was caught by Witten, but he took a pop at the end of it. So, Coach, let's talk about the first half. Your overall thoughts, my man.
I thought, you take the good, you take the bad. Both teams did a lot of things well. I liked the play calling, but both sides were hurt by errant snaps. And whichever team can figure that part of the game out, I think is going to come out on top on this, because we haven't really seen too many punts. So we'll see. Again, Stockdale, really important for them to stay above the chains and get positive gains on first down.
Kaiser's had his fair share of bad snaps tonight. He's had to kind of do a lot of recovering after the snap, and so that's never good for a quarterback. And I did talk to Coach Mackey. I was down there just waiting. I finally got him to come out of the locker room and give each other hugs. It's been a long time. How you doing? What's happening? What's going on? Asked him very simply. Offensively, he says, yeah, haven't been as crisp as we'd like, but that's what you expect. Week one, we're going to get better. No worries about that. I said, what about the defense? He goes, I like that. I like our defense doing a nice job. And I said, overall, how's it feel being the head coach? First time out as the main guy. He goes, absolute dream, Vance. I'm living it, and it's going to stay that way. And I said, well, I'm up there with Coach Cornford, and he said the same thing.
Yeah, and both sides are competing here. Boy, the black hole down here, the Stockdale student section, was getting after it this front of the half, and I think it's important to keep this crowd into it, because they can be game changers if you can make a big play here or there. And we really haven't seen a ton of that from Stockdale. We've seen them work the ball down the field, but they really haven't hit Spears with the big home run ball yet.
It's 3rd and 7. Had a great chat with both athletic directors from both high schools down on the football field. That's always fun to talk to both those guys and get a feel for the pulse on both sides of the field and what's going on in fall sports. What a community. What a community. Kaiser drops back, flings one. It's a beauty, and it is caught. What a perfect catch by Patino. Patino makes a move. Patino looking to get in. Touchdown.
Wow. And just hearing this student section get on their feet giving me chills. That's what they needed. Great throw by Kaiser. Great run and catch after the throw by Patino over there. And, boy, just what the doctor ordered for the Mustangs.
Colton Kaiser, the junior quarterback, the southpaw, flings it out to Jacob Patino. What a great move after the catch. And couldn't have said it better myself, Rich. Just exactly what the doctor ordered. And when I was waiting for Coach Mackey to come out of the locker room, I was watching.
And I think we're a man short on the line there for the Mustangs. Now, they should not snap this ball. First off, they don't have enough men on the line of scrimmage, and it's going to get blocked if they do, and there we go. That's just a train wreck.
Well, the crowd doesn't realize it. The officials blowing the whistles, throwing flags, and the coaching staff livid after such a high moment of emotion and celebration. Guys weren't ready to go. And I was going to finish that sentence. I saw Colton Kaiser and the offensive guys, one of the coaches over there, and he and Christian Dalton were completely focused in on a very, very serious discussion right before running back out here. So obviously it worked.
Very nice. Good adjustment there by the Stockdale Mustangs and offensive coordinator Cortez Donald. So this is why you don't snap that ball there, okay? Because it's just going to be 5 yards, and it should not be that much tougher.
It's up, and Tell you what, no good.
Well, I said that, and I regret saying it.
The transparency, truth, and honesty of one Rich Cornford. What an answer by the Mustangs, though. Can't take that away from them.
No, big play, and that's what their offense had been lacking. They'd taken a couple shots to Spears, and you just kind of wonder if Highland overplaying Spears now, and that left Patino one-on-one. And again, great job by Patino after making a really good catch to make the man miss and then outrace him to the end zone.
Stockdale kickoff after that great.
Well, that was a beautiful pass.
Drive punctuated by a lengthy touchdown pass again.
And I think Stockdale's offense is a solid offense when the snaps are consistent and they get their timing is consistent. Again, where they've struggled is on pure passing downs, and when that Highland defensive line is able to just pin their ears back on them.
14-9. The first series of the game, first possession, the Mustangs went down and put a field goal through, made it 3-0, and then Highland just came booming back on their second possession. Isaiah Ott, long pass downfield to Brucker, and then Romero jammed it in. Then quickly they came back and Callaway jammed it in, and it made it 14-3. And then you just witnessed that beginning of the third quarter touchdown. That's big time.
So now Highland needs to respond with a little magic of their own. We saw early on in the game.
Oh, a short little kick, and it is fumble! Ooh, ball went out of bounds, but a nice 60-degree sandwich just chipped it about 15, 18 yards, and the ball booted out of bounds. So just underway. Next week, of course, the slate will be full again. Thursday night football, Friday night football. I'm out of both of them. Cal State soccer on Thursday night. Men's team hosting San Jose State, and the great Simon Tobin will be coming back to his old haunts. And then Fridays, the beginning of Cal State volleyball. I'll be playing.
You have a special interest in Cal State volleyball?
For some reason I do. We've got 3 matches in 2 days, so I'm sure you and Kenny and Rick will do a nice job. Really nice play there. First of all, great composure by Isaiah Ott. He gets flushed out of the pocket and he runs over here to the left side. He's just kind of trotting out in the no man's land and just chipped it over Jordan Salcido. Nice first down.
For a young quarterback, he does a pretty good job with his feet when he's on the roll there. Heavy set to the left here for the Scots.
Big, strong running play there by Callaway. That's Florentino Callaway.
I really, really like him. I like tough downhill runners, and that's exactly what he does. And he's just a sophomore. All right, he's a sophomore with a 400-pound squat. So, this could be bad for Stockdale. We got Logan Goodspeed coming off.
Yeah, you were right. It's a beautiful play, great design, and a big, big run for Callaway. And that's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 34-yard line. Coach, you said it, and it happened. That just looked like total control the entire play.
So Goodspeed's the defensive tackle that replaced Bradley Taylor. Now he's going right back in. I think it must have been an equipment issue. I was afraid that he'd hurt his shoulder. Stockdale needs him on the inside because of his motor and his strength in there.
They go right back to him again. This time Stockdale meet him at the line of scrimmage, maybe 1 or 2 yards. Nice hit out there by Nicholas Forrest. He started the gang tackle.
2.5. Let's call it 2nd and 8.
8.5 to go here in this third quarter. It's a really nice football game here. Friday Night Lights, first time this season. You're watching the Kern High Network. Great to have everybody with us. I'm Vance Palm. It's Rich Cornford and Julian Wilson. And they go right up the gut with it. And
Daniel slicing in, dropping him after a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 4 from the 29 of the Mustangs.
All right, we've already seen the range for the kicker for Highland is 39 yards, so this is probably going to be 4-down territory for them.
Ott.
Safety still playing very deep for the Mustangs.
Taking his time. Takes the snap, quickly hands it off, and nothing doing there. Romero is stopped for, I think, maybe even a loss. They did. They moved it back about a yard. So to your point, Rich, 4th and 6.
And a big down and distance at the 30-yard line of the Mustangs.
Maybe Callaway again on that same play that got him 9 or 10 yards.
Yeah, we see good speed coming off the field again here. So that's I'm sure Coach Gutierrez saw that too. Their best defensive lineman coming off. 4th and 6 though. Hard to call that inside run here, but they got some space up at top. Now they tighten it down.
And it is Safa, and Safa's who was way out there, and they went out there to get on him very late before the snap, and he just kind of floated right over there where nobody was, and an easy first down.
Yeah, you just call that go to the sticks and turn around, and great job of getting in first down range, and a nice throw there by Ott. We've definitely seen him settle into this game after that shaky start.
6.5 left in the third. Here come the Scotsmen. Ott takes the snap. Flag on the play. Inside handoff. Safa.
There was interior movement by Highland.
To the 9 or 10 yard line. Safa. I'm saying Safa. Dave's saying Safa.
Running back was just inching forward there before that ball was snapped.
You think, it's going to be on Highland? So Stockdale will take that. Anything to slow this train down right now.
15 Highland from the 25-yard line of the Mustangs.
Brucker and Salcedo on the left side, spread out just a bit. Ott looks, fires one over, and that was really never
good coverage.
And good communicado with Romero. Romero didn't feel like it was coming to him, didn't think it was, but it was.
Boy, these Stockdale corners playing cover 2. They're a press cover 2, which means they put their hands on the whitest guy, but their eyes are on the second guy, and they are jumping that stuff really quick. If I'm Highland, that does open a little window if you just give a little fake block and then get between them and the safety. So see if Gutierrez comes back with something like that at some point. Good run.
What a nice piece of running right there by Ernesto Romero again.
Make it 6, 3rd and about 4.
Again, one of the great things Gutierrez does, and I've talked about his play calling kind of all night long, is he keeps you consistently off balance. He's not afraid to throw on first down. He's not afraid to run on 2nd or 3rd down.
3rd and 6. Oh, what a great job by the Mustangs. They clogged it up. He did pick up a couple of yards, but boy, that
3 or 4.
Right in the middle of that defensive line right there did a really great job. And it was also some linebackers, though. You had Nathaniel Young in there. You've got Logan Goodspeed in there.
Another big 4th down. 4th and 4.
And the big fella, Timothy Nielsen, that freshman. Big play right here. 5:20 left in the third quarter. Huge play. Ott just shovels it over very quickly to their big guy. He might get in. He's getting close. Wow, what a run by Florentino Callaway.
Wow, and this is, again, the first time we've seen that play. And they saved it for a 4th and 5, snapped the ball quickly, got the ball out there. Again, great call by Mike Gutierrez and the Highland coaching staff.
Highland 1st and goal at about the 4-yard line.
This drive has been a great response by the Scots to the Stockdale score.
They've plotted. They've kept it methodical. Ott gets swallowed up in there. Well, that's a really, really nice play. Great tackle. I think it was.
The zone read. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, that was Silas Orozco.
Yeah, Stockdale putting some beef in on the defensive line here for this goal line stand.
Under 5, 2nd and goal from the 4. Isaiah Ott hands the ball off to Romero, and he just pounds it in there. Sorry, Callaway, Florentino Callaway. Callaway, touchdown, Highland.
That Stockdale, or sorry, Highland offensive line. We've already talked about Ethan Guzman and Grayson Rogers a little bit, but Roman Robles, Felix Lopez, Julian Vargas, they just punched a hole in that Stockdale defense right there and ground them down for that touchdown. Great effort there by the Highland Scots up front.
Parra on to kick the extra point.
Parra, who's, dare I say, Mr. Automatic. The snap, the hold, and the kick is...
We are very consistent, you and I.
Wow, what happened there?
I think it's this wind. This
4:40 remaining.
That's got in the kicker's head. I don't know.
We'll take a break. 20-9. Highland up by 11 here at Stockdale. Back on the Kern High Network.
Whitman Spears.
Welcome back, everybody. Vance Palm alongside Rich Cornford in the Kern High Network. It's Friday Night Lights out here at Stockdale, but Highland right now bringing it to the home team, 20-9. Parra to kick off. That wind is pushing it, and it may just go out of bounds. And it, oh gosh, I thought it was out of bounds. It stayed in bounds, and it finally gets collected by Elmo Witten.
Grabbing the ball.
Don't you wish you could hit your wedge like that?
Man, that ball just stopped on a dime and popped straight up. Wow.
Whenever I had a kicker that couldn't put the ball really deep and high or into the end zone, I always had them work on placing the ball. Because, boy, that ball hits the ground. It does crazy things. And if you could get one of those every 3 or 4 games, I mean, it's a huge difference maker. So Stockdale a little fortunate there that, well, unfortunate that it didn't go out of bounds. Fortunate that they were right on top of it.
Okay. 1st and 10. Nice running play to start off this series for the Mustangs. On a 1st and 10, they get 12.
And a first down gain of 12.
And I love the play calling there by the Mustangs, because we've been seeing that fly sweep, and we've been talking about the pursuit that Highland has had to that. Well, now they just ran the counter off of that and picked up a first down. Good start to the drive there. Nice call, Coach
that was
Donald.
Elmo Witten on the carry.
We've talked about a lot of sophomores and a freshman in this game on both sides here.
In motion hard is Logan Gonzalez. And again, it's Elmo Witten. Thought about getting away, but the strong grip of Johnny Brucker and all those weights he's been lifting there in the offseason, he hung onto that jersey and Witten couldn't get away.
We're talking about that freshman. That was Timothy Nielsen lead blocking on that play, the freshman for Stockdale. And he moves really well for a big guy. I talked about how he was one of the stronger guys already. You know, boy, he's got good feet too. One of the two offensive line coaches for Stockdale, Ben Osai, who played at University of Washington, and Gary Sumlin, who played at Eastern Illinois. So 2 D1 coaches there coaching these guys up.
What a pass. Finds the gap again. This time it's Spears. Spears makes an incredible move. He's at the 20. Spears at the 10. Touchdown. Kaiser to Spears. Here come the Mustangs.
All right, we talked about Ben Spears. Remember, he had that drop earlier that got picked. How is he going to mentally recover? Well, the kid's mentally strong because he came back with a huge play. Another great ball thrown on time by Kaiser. And then once these Stockdale receivers catch the ball, they're not satisfied with just the catch. That's 2 long runs after the catch we've seen him make.
And Coach, he hit him right in stride, never broke stride.
Puncturing the seam.
We got us a good ball game here.
Kaiser to Spears, touchdown.
The secondary and 2 large plays.
Will they go for 2?
Again at 20-15. Kaiser to Spears, both running.
Going
well
for 1 puts you down 4. Going for 2 puts you down 3. So it looks like the Mustangs are going to go for 2 here, but they might have to burn a timeout in the process.
Uh-oh. So with 2:58 left in the third, just when you felt
game by both sides, both
that
doing
Highland was getting enough traction to pull away. I mean, let's be honest, that's a team that's been put together for quite some time with a head coach that's been there for a while. They've got some history of really putting together long drives, which they just did. So you kind of got that feeling like, all right, looks like Highland's really starting to get a feel for things here. Boom! Colton Kaiser to Ben Spears, and like you said, the yards after the catch, the big move, and then he's gone. So, completely changes the complexion of this game. An important timeout here, though, Coach Cornford.
And let's give the Stockdale offensive line some props there, too, because we've seen when Kaiser has time, he throws a really nice football. And they did a great job of protecting him there and allowing him to throw on time. So props to the Stockdale offensive line. They're probably getting better every snap.
Great point. Under 3 to go. So the ball is on the left hash at the 3-yard line.
We're probably looking at Stockdale going for 2 here, trying to make it a field goal length game. Again,
so what do they got in this situation here?
We got a great contest going. 2:58 from the 4th.
2 receivers split to each side. Do they have a running back? Oh, they got a tight end to the right. I think that's good speed.
Big play. Kaiser looks in trouble. Kaiser, can he get rid of it? Can he get across? Oh, he takes a wicked hit.
Going to stiffen up and hold them short of the goal line, but the score remains.
Oh, he got popped. And as always, he hops right back up. But he was about a foot away from going in himself. And then right at the very end, I didn't see who made the tackle. Sorry, Highland fans. But my vision was blocked. But what a hit.
Again, like Highland football does, there was about 8 of them there at the converging on him. They're right at the goal line.
Kaiser was moving around, and he thought about just trying to cross the goal line himself. And at the very end, took a big pop. But, again, can't take away the fact that they've answered with their own punch. I'll tell you what, when they scored and the black hole gets rocking, this whole stand starts shaking. Julian's equipment, his TV, his camera, his laptop, everything just starts to move and shake. So now everybody's into it. The band is into it. The cheerleaders are into it.
The guys in tutus are into it.
You know it. Wow.
All right, now we've seen Stockdale do a couple pooch kicks here. Highland's deepest guys are at the 15-yard line, so they are not expecting this ball to be kicked deep. And again, if you're facing a team that pooches, you do not want that ball to hit the ground. One of the things I'd aim at is anybody with a lineman number. There they go, a squib kick. Oh, they've got a chance here on the sideline.
They might get it.
Oh, man, he missed it by about a foot.
Goodness gracious, Manuel Sanchez was making a beeline for it. How about that great kick?
Squibby kick.
And Sanchez,
first and 10 at their own.
That would have been the play of the game so far. Well, he fell right on top of the ball.
I think the flag is just for the ball going out of bounds, but that's just going to be right there at the 38-yard line.
Whew.
I'll add 5 yards to it to the 44.
Ball went out of bounds, so Highland will take over first and 10 at their 44.
All right, if I'm Highland, I'm thinking about grinding these guys, all right? Some of them are going two ways up front there, make them get tired, pick up some first downs. If I'm Stockdale, I'm thinking I really would like a 3-and-out right now.
Ott lets it fly, flings it, and it went through the fingertips of the
Orozco comes back under
always reliable Johnny Brucker, but Brucker fell down, came up and said, flag, 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 no dice.
Now, the key to that play, that ball's got to be thrown about a second and a half sooner into that window before the safety. It allowed the safety to have time to get over to that, but that window is open if he can get it out on time.
I'll tell you what, Coach, how about the arm on Ott? That's the first time we've really seen him fling it tonight.
Throw the old fastball.
That was humming. 2nd and 10. Energy really starting to pick up over here on the Stockdale side. Now the Mustang defense stepping in there. And how about that? Donovan Daniel, one of their seniors, makes a nice big tackle.
Good pursuit from the backside by the senior there. Got to be careful because if Ott keeps that ball, he might have had some room to run. But right now we've seen the Highland running backs have been really successful, so that's the primary key for the Stockdale defenders. 3rd and long. Winning 3rd and longs is the key to football.
Ott steps up and throws it behind Jordan Salcido. And for such a short pass, surprising that they don't connect.
Yeah, he threw that from an odd angle, and I just don't think Salcido was expecting it. So, big stop. And one of the things about that stop that is pretty important, Logan Goodspeed, one of their top athletes, who's been playing a lot of both ways, he didn't play on 1st, 2nd, or 3rd down there, so they were able to get him a little rest. Now, he is in on the punt return here, but giving him a little bit of rest could pay off in the long run.
Rucker on the punt.
So here's a punt.
Here's deep for the Mustang.
And it kind of just goes out into an area where nobody is. And it'll be the 15-yard line, so Stockdale does their job, Coach.
Yeah, they did. And again, sometimes something effective is not necessarily pretty. Their punting game hadn't been real pretty, but it's been effective. They've put them inside the 20 several times now, forcing Stockdale to go the length of the field. Now, that being said, we've seen Stockdale twice now score on some long pass plays. So they've really opened up their offense and kind of Highland on their heels a little bit. Because now Highland has to respect that deep passing game, which could open up the run game a little bit for the Mustangs.
Okay, Kaiser stands at his 10-yard line on the far side, left hash. Quick toss out here to Spears. Spears trying to make something magical happen again. And a solo tackle. Nice job out there. Really good tackle by Diego Duenas. Nobody was there but Diego, so he had to make the tackle, and he did.
Well, that Duenas is a good ball player. Again, captain of their team, 3-year starter.
On the tackle.
Great young man, according to Coach Gutierrez. And my son, who, again, used to coach at Highland, agreed with that. Love that kid.
1:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Knock on wood. If you heard that, that's my head. This 3rd quarter has flown by. Really nice job right there, and maybe a flag, and there is Elmo Witten with a strong ride and some extra yards are going to be thrown onto it. Elmo did the old school fake jump for the high snap that wasn't even in existence, and so try to catch everybody off guard. Kaiser puts it right in his hands. He took off, and some extra yardage here. Face mask against Highland.
We'll move it further down the field.
1:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. That's going to put the ball beyond the 40-yard line of the Mustangs.
Mustangs at their own 43-yard line.
Wow.
Stockdale again on the march. Crowd is on the feet. The black hole.
1st and 10, 60 seconds left in the 3rd. Kaiser looks over to the left side. He's got three receivers there, and he wants to bring Logan Gonzalez in a little closer. Kaiser, they hand the ball off, and it's another nice long run, and it's going to be a 1st down, we think. Ball gets loose, ball's on the ground. It was Witten with the carry. And the officials are going to say second down. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Second down after a gain of 9. Got to hang on to that pumpkin.
We're watching again.
Second
Elmo
down
Witten
after a gain of 9
run
by
the ball
Witten.
well
Great
inside.
interior blocking by
Again,
the Mustangs there into Highland
the
territory,
Stockdale
48
program with the
yard
number of
line.
sophomores and juniors that they're playing have a very bright future. Woo! Well, I'm impressed how well Witten runs between the tackles now. He's got to hold on to that ball a little better. But really good aggressive run in there.
Wow, a blustery, quick, rapid third quarter with a ton of action. We got us a nice one coming up here in the fourth quarter. It's 20-16. Highland's got a 20-15. Highland's got a 5-point lead, but man, a lot happening after this in the fourth quarter coming up in the Kern High Network. We're back. I'm Vance Palm. I'm with Rich Cornford and Julian Wilson. And we start the fourth quarter, and a flag should have flown. They don't. It's passed out here to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for a great block. He gets it down the near side. Gonzalez to the 15-yard line. Oh, and he takes Jeremy Jackson on.
Another large gain as Stockdale's passing game.
Still looking for some laundry, but I don't see any.
If it was going to be laundry, we thought it might even be on Highland, so there was no flag.
That's a gain of 54.
And that's a big throw right there.
Well, big catch and run over there. And, you know, what we're seeing right now is the Stockdale receivers are a little faster than the Highland defensive backs, and we've seen huge yardage after the catch on these plays.
Gonzalez on the short catch and a great run. It's 1st and 10. Stockdale from the 11 of the Scotsman.
2 tight end set here, changing things up by the Mustangs. Haven't seen this yet.
Kaiser gets the high snap, whistles blow, flags fly, laundry way outside, and it's going to be on Highland.
Offside against Stockdale.
Oh.
Excuse me, offside against Highland. That'll make it 1st down and about 5 yards.
Wow.
1st and 5.
20-15.
Scotsman after that offsides penalty.
So this is where that young Stockdale offensive line has to earn its keep here. Again, the strength of Highland's defense is their defensive front. Can Stockdale go right at them, or are they going to have to be a little tricky here?
Huddle breaks. Kaiser looks over at Elmo Witten, who's on his right hip. Highland having to make some quick adjustments on defense. Kaiser throws to the corner, a battle for it. It goes up, and oh, great play. What an athletic play that was. Man, that's big time.
Complete.
It was made by Jesse Ramirez.
Good coverage on the play.
It was intended out there for Spears, and Kaiser. The Kaiser-Spears connection is awfully comfortable and cozy. The relationship is great. So there's a comfort level there. He threw it out there for him to get it, and Jesse Ramirez dove, extended, and just blocked it away. That was a great play.
Now, Stockdale does have size advantages with Patino out there, and if they added Dalton, too, in this situation, if you wanted to throw the ball. I'm guessing right now, a lot of times, team will throw on 1st down, come right back with a run on 2nd. So, I'm gambling that Stockdale's going to come back with a run play here.
The tight end, Charles Young, is in. And how about this? He muscled up inside and shut it down. Highland said no dice.
About 5 or 6.
Man,
Highland's defense has stiffened up.
A yard loss, so now it's going to be 3rd and 6. Now they can get a 1st down for whatever that's worth. I always want to at least make sure you know that.
Yardage gets tough down here.
The 1st down would be just inside the 2-yard line.
And being down 4, you got to think that Stockdale is playing for the touchdown and going to go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here, which just leads you to say that they might, run the ball for 3-4 yards, get themselves in better position, or throw it twice.
Kaiser has Witten on his right hip again. Way out right is Spears. They look, they toss, they throw. Oh, and it should have been caught right in his hands. Incomplete.
Both tight ends crossing there, and he threw it at a point where it looked like either of them could have caught it, but neither of them did.
Goodspeed falls incomplete, very close.
Goodspeed was stretched out, and it went right there, and he's giving himself the old tap on the thigh pad. He knows that would have put Stockdale on the lead by 1. That was a beauty. But he's such a stud. What a great player and a big asset to this team. He just got to come over, and the coaches tap him on the shoulder pad and the helmet and said, don't sweat it, Logan. Need you, brother. Need you.
All right, Stockdale pretty late getting the play in here. I've got to think they're going to end up burning a timeout.
They are. And Coach Mackey, his arms are up to the sky saying, well, we burned a timeout.
Timeout, Stockdale.
But it's an important play right here.
The huge play. But, hey, hats off so far to this Highland red zone defense. This is really the first time that Stockdale's been inside the red zone here, and we saw great coverage on the fade route, and we saw them stuff the run play on 2nd down, and then maybe get a little fortunate there on 3rd down.
So, with a significant amount of time left, there's a lot of football left, 10:04, but it feels like it's about a minute left. The energy here is pretty crazy. Highland, just about 2 series ago, had that feeling of, hey, we're going to start to take control of this thing. They punched it in for another touchdown. Florentino Callaway got in there.
4th and 6.
And
down in distance.
Everybody over there on the Highland side said, we're starting to take control here. Nope. Another touchdown from Colton Kaiser to Ben Spears, and here they are now on a huge 4th and 6 from the 7-yard line. Kaiser drops, looks, throws one, and it is
incomplete.
And Kaiser's pass.
No flags anywhere. It'll be 1st and 10, Highland.
Their own 6-yard line.
Coach Mackey's looking for it. Coach Mackey and his staff are all asking for it. Like, what happened? Our receiver got mugged. At least they said it. But no call.
Great game. Tremendous effort by both sides.
Okay, right at 10 minutes left in the game here. If you're the Mustangs, again, you want to get this ball back as quick as possible with good field position. Not necessarily that the clock's in order, but just that the field position is so critical. If I'm Highland, I'm going to pound Florentino Callaway on this drive here. I just think that the Stockdale defense might be a little tired, and give it to the big guy behind that offensive line.
Ott, short shotgun. How about this? Stop at the line of scrimmage. Stockdale looking for a safety. No dice, but wow, what a great job, and a huge hit by Cody Arter, the senior, jersey number 33. That was a big-time hit.
Woo. Others in the middle.
Yeah, that Stockdale defensive line is rising to the occasion. They must hear me praising Highland and say, hey, Coach, we got a little something for you.
Settle down, Cornford. It was a big hit. The first time we called Cody's name all night, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time, so actually a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Ott given orders. He wanted that man, Salcido, to get over there quicker. They hand the ball off to him. Salcido gets about 4 yards. Going to be 3rd and 7.
Spears with a great one-on-one tackle on Salcido, and it's going to be about 3rd and 10.
Tackle made by Ben Spears, and now it's going to be an official's timeout. Clearing everybody off the field. Oh, a player's down. And it looks like it might be one of those early season. Just kind of, we see the leg go up in late August. You hope that's what it is. That's just a situation where their bodies aren't completely, totally warmed up just yet.
And with as hot as it's been, it throws your practice schedule off. So I know a lot of teams will practice in the morning before school because it's too hot to practice later. You know, you have to go in just helmets or maybe not at all. So you practice before school where it's a little cooler, but, you know, your body is not used to going at this tempo for this long, no matter how well, you know, and hard you train.
So
especially these 2A guys. Sorry.
Right. No, sorry. Salcido gets up and walks off. Looks like he's going to get some attention over there. I think it's a long 6. 3rd and 6. Ott hands the ball up. Big hit.
Oh, I think he was offsides, though. I think he left a little early off this edge.
Ooh.
Offsides. Got in there quick, but he was early. That'll make it 3rd and about 1 or 2.
So Joaquin Witten lowered the boom on a big hit, and that would have done it.
3rd and a long 1.
But he got in there a hair too early. So now it's 3rd and 1. So another big 3rd down. An audible, looks like, by Ott.
Oh,
and they got him. They got him. So 2 offsides in a row, and Highland picks up a much-needed first down. Oh, boy.
Self-inflicted wounds there.
Long ways to go in the game. So it's first down at the 20.
All right, but, hey, you got to recover. Both sides have made those mistakes. Learn from it. Move on. When you start dwelling on that kind of stuff is when you just implode.
100%. Ott out to the far side, and it's Brucker, and he picks up a big first down on a first down, and just like that, 60 seconds later, where Highland thought they were in big, big trouble, it's 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. And no huddle offense, they get on it quickly.
Stockdale making a lot of changes up front, and they're likely going to catch him. Great hustle here. They let it go.
So Nathaniel Young was making a beeline for the sidelines, and the line judge felt he was off the field. No flag.
Well, and I like that because the kid clearly was working hard to get off. In the college and the pro game, that's going to get called. But in high school, he's not part of the play. It had no effect on it. Let him play ball.
I'd slide just to get out of there. 7:44 and counting. Now you've got Coach Gutierrez trying to work this clock. Ott, hard count, nobody jumps. He's going to have to snap it pretty soon. He looks back over to the sidelines. I don't know that there'll be a change in the call. There is not. They just hand it off to Romero.
It'll be 3rd and
loses his
7
footing.
At the 40-yard line of the Scotsman.
Okay, last time we were in this situation, Stockdale jumped off sides 2 times in a row. See if they have learned from their past mistakes. Already, though, some damage has been done because of the field position change that we've had.
Big play. Shuttle pass out there to the side. Romero's going to pick up the first down and maybe more, and he ducks out of bounds without being touched, so doesn't even take a hit. That's a great first down for Highland.
That's the exact same play that they picked up on that 4th and 5 or 6 earlier to score on. They like that play in critical situations, and it's worked like a jewel for them each of the 2 times they've called it.
6:51 left in regulation. And it's kind of a funky score, so I don't know about any OT. It's a 5-point differential, so it doesn't shape up well for an overtime. So when I say that there's 6:50 left in regulation, I'm trying to make it sound as ominous as I can.
Stockdale an infraction again.
Encroachment against Stockdale. That'll make it 1st and 5.
If you're Stockdale, the big thing right now is you can't give up points. You have to stop them. Ideally, you'd like to stop them with 3 or 4 minutes to go, but stopping them is the most important thing.
Ott fakes the handoff, takes one up, throws it, look out, and that's intercepted. Picked off Jack Pierce. So Jack Pierce with a huge interception. And Ott came back. He was under pressure. The ball was deflected, and it just fell right into Pierce's hands. Pierce was right where he needed to be, Coach.
Yeah, we called his name earlier with a big hit. Now he comes up with a big interception. And, 6:40 to go here at their own 25-yard line. Highland's got to now recoup. And then Stockdale's got to take advantage of this momentum.
Christopher Sanchez is in the stands. Report for the concession stand. We believe you've lost an important item. Christopher Sanchez.
Both sides are tired. Both sides a little fatigued.
You're right, Coach. You're right. Okay, Kaiser stands on his own 20. It's a handoff. They stretch it out here to the side. Some good blocking downfield, and it's a pretty good run right there, and that's Witten. Pretty good downfield blocking.
Running in the edge, excellent perimeter blocking. Yep. For positive yards,
both sides have done a good job blocking out wide.
For the Mustangs at their
positive play for the Mustangs on first down. Stockdale's pursuit really good. What we've seen again is a little bit more speed from the Stockdale receivers than Highlands DBs for a couple big plays.
2nd and 4.
One-on-one coverage here at the bottom.
Oh, that's a nice move right there, and a really good effort to kind of hang on to him. No, that's going to be a first down. So Witten, I thought he was down. It looked like for a second that Frank Wright had him, but Witten just kept on fighting. That's a big first down.
5'10", 150-pound sophomore that does not like to get tackled. Fighting through the first defender there for extra yards, and again, a sophomore. Very impressed with Elmo.
Under 6, Kaiser looks, flips him out to the right side. It is caught by Spears.
Spears on the quick.
And he gets it up to about the 42-yard line.
Of the quick pass from Kaiser gets
good blocking out there by the Stockdale receivers. Good pursuit by Highland. But again, both teams are playing exceptional football. What we'd expect from these two coaches and their clubs. Great battle here.
And now the nervous energy takes over, and it's not that crazy. It's not that rowdy because everybody's starting to go, ooh.
They are all on their feet like they've been all game.
Colton Kaiser, the junior quarterback, high snap again. This time, trouble, but he gets out of it for a second. And Elmo Witten at least
about 2 or 3. It'll be
keeps the loss less damaging.
Yeah, that was a fantastic 2-yard loss. Because it could have been a whole lot worse. Good job ducking under the defenders. But again, this Highland defense, these D linemen and linebackers, they fly to the ball, which makes me think might be time for a counter again.
Well, we haven't mentioned Grayson Rogers tonight, number 74. And he's one of the tallest players on the field for both teams. The Highland Scotsman, he's a senior. And he's the left defensive end. Kaiser looks left the entire time, fires one across the middle. It's caught. Some nifty throw. The ball's on the good shot. It's an interception. The big fella interceptions at James Murillo.
The pass completed to Spears, but after a few yards, he fumbles the ball, and he was making a great effort, second and third effort, and Highland takes over.
Wow, that looked like it was going to be a big play for the Mustangs. Turns into a huge play for the Scots.
Tremendous second and third effort.
Technically, he had the ball and was running with it, bobbled it as if it was a fumble, so fumble/interception, and he's inconsolable. Ben Spears is over on the sidelines, and he's just completely racked with emotion.
But you see the strength of Coach Mackey and the way he's handling that situation. Positive. Tell him, hey, you are our playmaker. You've already done it once. We're going to come back to you. You love that kind of positive coaching because the kid is obviously really upset that he hurt his team there with that mistake. But he's a heck of a ball player, and Coach Mackey knows they're going to need to come back to him if they can get the ball back.
Okay, 4:12 remaining in regulation. Ott. He threw an interception last time. Hands the ball off, goes right up the middle. That's Romero. That's a nice 8-yard gain. Boy, that gets the Highland crowd pumped up. I can see it over there. By the way, again, Highland High School. Way to show up. That's a big, big crowd over there on the other side.
In the tracks, defense.
Whenever we go to Scotland Yard, it's always an event. They make us feel great, and it's just a fun atmosphere. So you're talking about two of the high schools in this community with great, great student support. Tonight it's no different.
My oldest daughter teaches at Highland, so she can attest to the school spirit over there.
2nd and 5. Ott goes up for a second.
Wow, that Stockdale front did a good job controlling the line of scrimmage there.
No gain.
Well, the one that hung on the longest was Donovan Daniel.
Two on defense, as is the whole Mustang D. It'll be 3rd
Senior defensive
and
end.
4.
They gave him a yard or so on that.
Huh.
All right.
3rd and 4. Biggest third down of the evening by far.
Watch the hard count if you're the Mustangs. Oh, they got a hitch route open to the number 2 receiver at the top.
They tried to get him to go. Hard count, nobody jumped. Great job by the Mustangs. Safa right down here below us, number 25. And it's going to be Romero in the backfield. High snap. Ott thrown off, and he's going to be able to turn it into a first down. How about that? A high snap for Isaiah Ott. He went up to get it, and it was one of those things where it actually threw the defensive pressure off.
All right, we got 2:40 to go. Stockdale's got 2 timeouts. You're going to have to start burning them here because you got to give your offense a little time to get the ball. And this, again, I'm a little different here. This is when I would go cover 0 and I would beg Highland to try to throw the ball over the top, but I would not let them run on me. I'd slide those safeties up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Clock is ticking away, 2:15 and counting. Isaiah Ott, the junior quarterback. It's a run. Stockdale all over it. This would not be a gain.
All right, get that timeout here probably if I'm Stockdale.
Another big hit by Joaquin Witten. High emotion guy.
Now if I'm Highland, I'm going to hold the ball until I see that back official motion that there's 5 seconds left before I go into my cadence.
Handoff again. This time the ball goes to Callaway. They're doing what you're saying. They're grinding it down to the very end.
3rd and 9.
And now another huge 3rd and 9, but the clock is absolutely racing. Let's not forget the Mustangs had to burn 1 or 2.
I think it shows 2 timeouts left on the board.
Okay,
anyway.
well, that's what the lights are showing. And, man, these seconds are just clicking off.
6-yard line of the Mustang.
You don't want to save it for offense because offense you can control your tempo. Right now they're going to be running 39 seconds off each time. So call them on D. All right, they're in the last 5 seconds here. And Coach Gutierrez, good job by him, takes the timeout so they don't get the delay of game.
Wow, what a Friday night debut here for the Kern High Network. It's just been an absolute blast. And again, we want to thank everyone at Stockdale High School for hosting us tonight. Thank you, Stan Green, and to all of the Kern High School District Superintendents. Want to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union for allowing us to be here this evening and put on events like this for our community. How about the Stockdale administration, the principal, Erica Pierce, assistant principal of instruction, Teddy Armijo, the assistant principal of administration, Aaron Rader, the dean, Stephanie Bai, the athletics director, our good friend, Justin Roberts, Coach Justin Roberts, the new head baseball coach, and activities director, Leah McLean. I just said hi to Leah a little while ago. Here we go. 3rd and 9. And it's a huge run, and it's a great move, and it springs him free. And how about that? A beautiful call and a great, great job of executing it. Jordan Salcido.
All right, and that's, I think I hear Dandy Don Meredith singing right now because that should bring them under center to kneel on it.